So we're going to be talking about the Trayvon Martin shooting in Sanford, Florida that recently happened.
Okay, so on February 26th of this year, George Zimmerman shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida. What do you know about the case to date?
Well, I know that on the actual night of the shooting, George Zimmerman, the shooter, was on neighborhood watch duty and saw a young man in a hooded sweatshirt walking the streets very late at night in the rain, and so he saw this to be suspicious behavior, and so he contacted the authorities while he began to follow the young man, and then the case gets rather blurry from here, but it has been said that um, Trayvon was on the phone with his girlfriend while he was being followed by Zimmerman. Um, and it has been said that they got into a fight and that an eyewitness did see Zimmerman being beaten quite violently by the young Trayvon Martin before he was shot, and then gunshots were heard, and it resulted in Trayvon being shot dead. Um, so that's the actual happenings of that night, to my understanding.
Okay, was he arrested right away?
He was not arrested right away because it was a very unclear event. There were no details that really people knew about, so it would be tough to make an arrest at that point, not being able to determine whether or not the shooting was in self-defense.
Okay, and has he been arrested as of yet?
Believe so. He has been arrested because, he was just indicted for. No, he's not been indicted. He was charged just yesterday with second-degree murder because this case has sparked a social upheaval of this social huge event. I mean, it's all you hear about in the news. It's all you're reading about right now. Is just this big Trayvon Martin shooting. So the arrest has been made, and the trial is pending, but we will soon see what happens there.
Okay, so do you think they have enough evidence as of right now, or they need to do more collecting, and there's a lot of hearsay at this point?
There's way too much hearsay, I think. I think the arrest is somewhat appropriate, seeing that it is an unclear event. It did result in a tragedy that should be recognized as a tragedy. A young boy, seemingly innocent, was killed. But what the attorneys in defense of Trayvon Martin have been claiming, they want hate crime, right? The whole thing is Zimmerman is a white Hispanic man, 28 years old, who shot a young African American 17-year-old. So they are focusing in on the race, and so is the media, and so is everything. Leaders like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson especially have come right out and said the kid was shot because he was black. And that's really what has sparked the social upheaval, and this is where the government comes in. In my opinion, the government has failed on this issue, completely failed, because what's happening now in result to this whole event with the new Black Panther Party, they're coming out literally threatening to cause violence against white people, even though it doesn't make any sense since the man who did the actual killing is not white. But they've sent out statements, broadcasted statements saying, you white people better watch out. The streets are gonna be running with your blood and things like. I mean, this is such a huge deal it's being made into, and the government is just completely ignoring it. It's completely ignoring this Black Panther group, which is such a huge threat. I mean, imagine if the tables were turned. Imagine if, imagine if a group of white people came out and said, "You black people, watch out! The streets are going to be running with your blood." Imagine that. The government would go nuts and would, immediately start to keep a close watch on these people who are publicly threatening another group of people. But none of that is happening, and the government is completely ignoring it. The media is condoning it. They're helping broadcast it. So, in my opinion, that's the real issue here. There's a tragedy. A young man was killed, and the event itself is very unclear, and that's up to the justices to decide. But now, this racism and this upheaval has gotten so blown out of proportion that it's time for someone like Obama, who has a very well listened to voice in the racist topic and racism topic in this country. He's in a position where he can really help the racism issue. He's failing miserably in containing the situation because it's getting so out of control, and now innocent white boys like me are in danger. So I think that's a problem. And that's it.